So we'll just wait for a while. Let's see if people can join in, and we'll be starting our session for today. Uh, so yeah, just wait for a while and go ahead with the session. So very good evening to all of you. What we are trying to do is we are trying to open up the SWAM portal because in our presentations we have been showing where are the different links pertaining to registration, fee payment, as well as your data content, the week-wise content which is available. And for that, we are basically opening up the NPTEL portal. Yes, so here we are. Great, great. All right. So once again, a very good evening to all the members here. We are here at the NPTEL session for understanding incubation and entrepreneurship. That's the course we have been taking up, and it's a 12-week course. And today we are here at the midway. So it's a milestone for us in a way because today we are covering half the content of the entire course. And like I said, I mean, it's a milestone to reach, the half content up till now. And so from a week-wise content, the duration was 12 weeks, and today we are at the week 6 content. Right. So today we'll be discussing about the week 6 content. We'll be solving questions, we'll be discussing around it. And the idea remains, to make the learning more enriching to all of you. So I'll also join the meeting with my own link so that, I could make out if there is any discrepancy, if there is any issue with respect to the content which I'm sharing in, and that will help me, to manage in those situations. So that's there, right? All right, that's great. Great. So yeah, so what I was mentioning about was that we have managed to reach the halfway of this course, which in itself is a milestone, and so we'll be having six more sessions, which will be specific to the week-wise content. And this will be followed by extra session. The idea is that just before you get into your final examination, I'll be telling you about some important stuff to take care of before you appear for your proper examination, which is your final examination, right? So that will happen, and the schedule for that will be informed to you, during the last few weeks, probably in the October month, because we started with the September month, and this entire month will go into the week-wise content, maybe up till week 10 or something. We'll be covering in this particular month, and we'll be having a few couple of sessions remaining for the next month. And then again, we'll be having one extra session. So the duration for the extra session would be around 1 hour or 1 hour or so. So with that, let's begin with our session today. So before I go with the slide deck, let me share you the screen. All right. So, good evening, everyone. Today we are here for the week 6 content. ये हमारा छठवें वीक का कंटेंट है जो कि हम डिस्कस करने वाले हैं. The course name is Understanding Incubation and Entrepreneurship. Course instructor is Professor V.K. Chakravarti sir from the IDC School of Design, IIT Bombay. And like I said, today we are at the week 6. Um and My name is Abhishek. I have been taking the role of TA in this particular course. And the idea is that in these sessions, we try to address your problems, your queries, your doubts, as well as we kind of present a set of questions which are different from your assignments. And the idea is that, to bring new dimensions of learning through our sessions. So that's our intent in this particular course. All right. So here we begin with our slide deck. Like I always said, uh, we have a set of protocol slides, what we call. Let me write it down. And in these protocol slide, we have set of few slides which basically cover the aspects of course information, typology of questions, content recap, week-wise brief summary, set of 10 questions, and we have finally the discussion for doubts. So we try to cover all these in our presentation. However, the protocol slides basically cover information about the marking criteria, certificate criteria, as I mentioned, typology of questions. Right? Okay. So in these sessions, we are basically here to help you with the current run of course, which means that right now we are going to discuss week 6 content and related questions. All right. We shall discuss and solve week specific assignments other than the live assignment. Okay. So what we are basically doing is that we'll be solving week specific assignments, and we won't be covering the live assignments because those assignments are basically to evaluate and assess performance. Okay. We'll respond to the questions and queries, and we'll also do the content recap. So content recap is basically the screenshot summary of content modules. Okay. So it's basically a screenshot summary of the content module. So we don't play the entire lecture because that is something which you have to see at your own pace. But what we do is we take snippets of the lectures, and we try to give a brief overview of what the content was about, right? So that remains our basic intent of having this. Well, as a part of protocol slides, we'll also be covering, what do we expect in the live session from our audience. We request all to keep their mic on mute to avoid any kind of noise disturbances. And essentially, the idea remains that, all these sessions are video recorded and they need to be uploaded on YouTube. So to maintain, the sound quality, we ensure and we request all the participants to put their mic on mute. However, if you are responding to any questions, especially in our set of 10 questions, you are invited to speak up or to mention your choices through uh, chat message as well as unmute. So both ways, in when we are discussing the slides pertaining to these questions, at that time you can chat message as well as you can unmute your mic. Right? However, what I always recommend our learners is to use the functionality of discussion forum, which you get while going to to this particular head, ask the question. The moment you click here, you get driven to an external page, which is more like a Google forum, and there you can post the question. So what we'll do is we'll quickly show you, how you can access that. Okay. So now you're here. This is the basically content section. Basically, the announcement is highlighted. So here you get all the major announcements. For Q&A, you need to click here, and it says you are being redirected to the Google discussion forum. There you can discuss your queries with the course faculty as well as other students. So you need to click on continue. Okay. The moment you click on continue, you come to this particular group. It's basically Google Groups. And if you can see, these are the three questions which have been asked over a period of time. And all of these have been responded. Now, I'll also tell you the feature by which you can actually utilize this. So you can start a new conversation. You can do that. Meanwhile, what we can mention at our website, presentation is that the discussion forum gives access to different stakeholders. This include enrolled learners. So basically, all the learners who are enrolled in this course are active participants of this discussion forum. Then you have me, who is there in this session as a TA or teaching assistant for this particular course. And then you have NPTEL members, NPTEL team, who is basically there to monitor, to see what kind of queries are coming, to address them. So if there is any question pertaining to the technical aspect or support aspect, it is being taken care by the NPTEL team, right? So the moment you post a question, it gets posted in the Google forum, discussion forum. And the moment it is posted, everybody can actually have a look at it. And the moment I respond by replying all, everybody gets notified to email. All right. So that's the functionality of discussion forum. Now, like I mentioned, all the recordings are being recorded, uploaded, and so these are uploaded at this particular location. And the presentation deck is basically a PPT deck, which is converted to PDF and is uploaded. Right. So this is the drive link. And yet again, I'll be showing you in the actual platform how you can access that. So on the left page, you would be able to see the problem solving link and it will be directing you to that page. So let me show it to you once. So right, if you see here we have the left pane content. We can see the content till week 7 has been released, right? And if you see at the bottom, you have the problem solving session. The moment you click here, you can click on recordings and that will lead you to the problem solving session recording. If you click here to view the lectures, you'll be able to see an Excel sheet, right? I hope the Excel sheet is visible. Now, if you see the week-wise content has been uploaded. So today we are here at the week 6. So the links and the pertaining presentation file will be uploaded by tomorrow. So these are the links and this is a Google Drive. So let me show you how it exists. And these are all the links. So these are all clickable links which are available on YouTube. The idea is that you can access it whenever you have the luxury of time. And this is the Google Drive. So it is again open. It is having open access to anybody who has the link. And you can see all the annotated presentations have been appearing here. So week-wise, you can actually access it whenever you feel like having time or luxury of time. So you can go through the content. So the idea of going through these slides and live demo is that you get a better clarity of viewing the content. All right. So basically, the intent is that. Okay. Let's proceed further. Okay. So the course name is Understanding Incubation and Entrepreneurship. The course instructor is Professor V.K. Chakravarti sir. The total run of courses is 12 weeks. And today, if you see, we are at the 6th week content. So basically, we are halfway. Course started on 22nd of July. The week 5 assignment deadline is 4th of September. So you have a day left to submit it. Please ensure submit it. And then you have the final exam date, which is the 26th of October. This is how your progress tab looks like. The basic idea of having a progress tab is to do self assessment of how you have been performing in your assignments. Yes. This basically is to give you a picture of how you have been performing in your previous works, previous assignments, so till week 1 to week 4, I believe the scores are available, and you can actually see how much you have achieved out of 10 marks, right? So that is available there already. And this is how it will show you the percentage. It basically is generated from the lesson progress and assignment progress. If you have submitted all the assignments, you'll be able to see the entire blue bar right till up till 100. If in the lessons you have not clicked all the links, it will show some deficiency in the form of gray color. Okay. The percentage which you have already covered will be shown in the blue color. Okay. Covered. And this part is all right. Well done. Now we come to the examination certificate guidelines. Now, this is important if you are doing this course from a credit requirement. Okay. Now, if you're doing it from a credit perspective, where it's a academic thing wherein your credits will be counted for your semester results, then you will have to ensure that you register yourself by paying the examination fee. The last due date was August 23rd, which has already gone by. And I believe that all those who are appearing for the course must have done their registrations. Okay. Sure. See if there are a few more joinees up there. I'll turn off my camera because there is some weather issue here and it will affect the screen performance. I hope my screen is visible. If anyone can please let me know.
Yes, visible, sir. Visible.
All right, all right. So moving on further, certificate examination. So basically, you achieve a certificate, you earn a certificate. Earning is a better word because you earn it when you qualify the basic criteria of examination, right? So in each of my sessions, I mention this particular slide in a little detail. Now, what you are submitting as weekly assignments are basically part of your internals. All right. So you have every week you have assignments. So you have total of 12 assignments which needs to be submitted. And the weightage of this particular part is 25%. All right. Now the best part is that the best 8 assignment is counted when we are capturing this 25% weightage. Also, the interesting part of internal assignments is that till the deadline, one can submit the assignments multiple times. All right. सो बेसिकली इसका ये मतलब है कि जब तक डेडलाइन ओवर नहीं हो रही है तब तक आप अपना असाइनमेंट बार बार सबमिट कर सकते हैं. यू कैन revisit the content, and if you have doubt in any of the questions you can actually resubmit it, right? So I think it's a very superb feature which is very student driven, and you can utilize it so that you can have a better marking for your assignments, right? Now let's come on to the externals, which is basically a physical kind of an examination. It will be a on-site exam, just like your class 10th and 12th board examinations. You'll have to go to a physical center and you will have to appear in that examination. Okay. The weightage given is 75%, which means the overall marking will be of 100. And since you are visiting it and you are appearing it, so that's why the weightage is higher. Here you are doing it at the convenience of your home or classroom, whatever it is. Now, the interesting part is that these require a certain minimum criteria, which means your marks need to be greater than 10, greater than 30, in order to have this greater than 40 out of 100. Now, why this is important? Because if you do not qualify in one of the two criterias, you won't be able to get a certificate, right? Now, give certain examples in order to help understand what the scenario is. So, for example, you scored 5 out of 25 here, and you scored 55 out of 75. Your total score is 60, which means you are fulfilling this criteria, you are fulfilling this criteria, but you are not fulfilling this criteria, which means you won't be getting a certificate. Now, let's take another example. Here you scored 20 out of 25. You scored 25 out of 75. Your overall score remains 45 out of 100, which means you are meeting this criteria. You are meeting this criteria, but you are not meeting this particular criteria. So that's what we are trying to clarify, that both your internals and externals play a significant role in achieving the overall criteria of marks being greater than 40 and equal. I hope this is clarified. Okay. So this has been how we have been progressing from week 1 till week 6. If you see here, we started with the introduction part, understanding, why startups fail, what are the mistakes done by the startups, and then a short journey of Mr. Dinoj. In the week 2, we understood hand-holding of entrepreneurship by understanding the journey of Mustafa, who established a brand called ID. This was followed by a panel discussion from the incubatees or the startups which are a part of GDC, and they explained their journeys, their strong points, their learnings. Week 3 started with the methodology of innovation relating to the 7 concerns, starting with the cause and ending with the connect. This was followed by week 4, which included about information about ideas program and solar oven case study of Mr. Avinash, who was an IIT Bombay alumni from IDC. And we also had IIT Hyderabad students who were all MSc students who were pitching in. Then you have week 5, which captured healthcare and innovation with all the medtech success stories. And this is followed by week 6, which captured human-centered innovation and very interesting discussion with Ms. Shilpi from the Khoj Labs, along with Mr. Dhayan from the F1 Studios. So they both had their own startups. They both worked in different industries before starting their own venture, and they shared their experiences and their viewpoints in terms of their learnings in the industry. And today we'll be having the set of 10 questions pertaining to them. Okay, so these are the two typology of questions we have. We have single correct answer question, and then we have multiple correct answers. So best way to understand is that if there is a radio button, you can only select any one of them. And if there is a square box which is allowing you to multi-select, you can actually select two, or if you feel, you can also select all four. So that's the liberty which the square buttons provide you. All right. Another one of my very critical slides, which I give certain time to make people understand, which is related to the marking criteria. So in case you are getting marks in decimals, this is the reason why you are getting it. And let's try to understand it with an example. Basically, we are asking what all cities, you can write cities as well, among the below are located in Uttar Pradesh. So your options are Lucknow, Lucknow, Jabalpur, Jhansi. Okay. If you see, the correct answers for this question are A, B, and D. Now let's understand different scenarios. Let's consider point one, then point two, and then point three. Okay. Now the answer to this particular question is Lucknow, Unnao, and Jhansi. And if I go with the option one, which is all options chosen by the student are correct, which means if I select A, B, and D and I submit it, I get full marks. Let's come to scenario two. It says if at least one incorrect answer has been chosen, then no marks. So basically what we are saying is if you select A, B, and C, if you select B, C, and D, and likewise, so any of your choices has C as an option, you will not get any marks in this. And finally, in our third scenario, which mentions if only correct answers are chosen, but not all correct answers are chosen. So which basically signifies that if I select A, B, and then I submit it, if I select B and D and I submit it, if I select A and D and I submit it, I will be getting partial marks. Right? So I hope all these three scenarios are making sense and it's clear to you because marking is something which is very much required in this course. And the idea is that, we have clarity on, these aspects. Okay. So this is a slide which I always keep, that, the learners who have been consistent, who have been coming in and every class and have been staying for a while. So we have Nangrui Bare, who has been pretty much consistent, and I believe he's there today as well. Uh, then we have Yash Vikram Patil, Keval Shah, and Bhavna. So congratulations. I would request you to keep this consistency in attending the sessions. That will be great, from your end. All right. So today what we'll do is, instead of doing the content recap first, we will first go through the set of 10 questions, and then we'll come back to the content recap part, right? So we will skip the content recap. We'll cover the set of 10 questions, and we'll come back again here. All right. I hope that is fine for all. Okay, then. So this is the first question. I would request all to please read it, and then we'll start discussing it. I just if my camera is not yet on. Yeah, because of the weather, I have turned it off. All right. So let me read out the question. According to Ms. Shilpi Kumar, the balance of which aspects are important for a startup? Shilpi Kumar, if you remember, she's from the Khoj Labs. What, according to her, are the important aspects for a startup? Your options are business, psychological and emotional needs, human business and customer needs, human technology and business needs, and technology, social and company needs. So give a thought to it. Let me know your opinion. You can either message it in the group, or you can just unmute yourself and I'll do a quick voting and we'll accordingly see, what is the correct answer. Give a thought to it. We are discussing the important aspects for a startup as per Ms. Shilpi Kumar. Three typology, the three kind of needs that need to be taken care by the startups to succeed and have a good balance between those aspects. So what we need here is a balance between three. Okay, so we've got one opinion in terms of C, human technology and business. Let's see if others can also share their viewpoints. So for a startup, these are the aspects which require a balance. What are those? Is it business, psychological and emotional needs? Is it human business and customer needs? Is it human technology and business needs? Or is it technology, social and company needs? Okay, so let's try to understand the options given. First is business, psychological and emotional needs. So business is one criteria, but if you see psychological and emotional needs are pertaining to human. Okay. So these are one of the two spheres. I mean, these are not that distinct. Obviously, they are distinct in a certain way, but then these are not three different aspects. These both correlates within the human criteria. Then you have human business and customer needs. Now, yet again, if you see now, human and customer are sub and subset of it. Okay? These are again not very distinct of that. Then you have human technology and business needs, which each of these three are distinct. I mean, there's no overlapping things here. And then technology, social, and company needs. Now, social needs is again driven by a human, right? So, in itself, social need doesn't make much of a sense because it is basically the human's social need which needs to be addressed, right? But then, from a startup angle, this again does not make any sense. Okay. So if you go through the options, the first, third, and the last one doesn't make much of a sense. Because when we are understanding the aspects, we see, I mean, these three stand significantly in an entity in itself. So let's see the options. This is the validation from the presentation. We frame problems and work on innovations that balance human, technology, and business needs. Right? So, human is there, got technology, you've got business needs. Business needs to be taken care very much because that's how the things will be driven. So that in itself is a very, very important aspect. So you've got people, you've got technology, you've got your business. So the correct answer is C, human, technology, and business states. So very well done. One of the learners mentioned it. The correct answer is point C, human, technology, and business states. Very well said. Great. Let's move ahead to our second question. As presented in the Khoj Lab case study. Now, Khoj Lab case studies again, it's brainchild of Ms. Shilpi Kumar. Alright. The old ways of innovation or jugaad in the Indian context leads to which of the following phenomena? Is it the copy paste culture? Is it the success? Is it the increased scaling of operations or the challenges new ways of doing business? So just give a thought to it and let me know. Okay, so we have got one vote for option D, but let me highlight that this is a multi-select question, which means there will be more than one correct answers. So, so even if you submit one, then also you can get some partial marks given that that option is correct. So you have got two options: increase scaling of operations and challenge new ways of doing business. I would invite others to please suggest your probable correct answers for this. We have got A and we have got D. All right. Anyone else? The question is basically asking कि जो पुराने तरीके हैं इनोवेशन के या जिन्हें हम जुगाड़ कहते हैं भारतीय परिवेश में इंडियन कॉन्टेक्स्ट इनमें से किन फिनोमिना को वो लीड करता है सो द ओल्ड वेज ऑफ इनोवेशन और जुगाड़ इन द इंडियन कॉन्टेक्स्ट leads to which of these phenomena? Is it the copy paste culture wherein you are copying some ideas from online and then you are trying to fit it to your own context? Does it bring success? Does it help in increased scaling of operations? And does it challenge new ways of doing business? All right. So we have A, C, and D. So let us see how the total count goes. Option A has got two votings. Option B has got one. Option C has also got one, and option D has got three. So clearly, I mean, option D is there, which is good. All right. So let's see from a validation point. Okay. So here at this particular timestamp, Ms. Shilpi Kumar was, mentioning the problems and the phenomena which is led or driven by the Jugaad mindset. All right. Which means here we have control C, control V, which is basically referring to the copy paste culture. Correct. So this is the one option. And then the second option is it challenges new ways of doing business. तो यहाँ पे इन्होंने ये चीज हाईलाइट करी थी कि okay. So if you have to understand more about this particular question, I would request you to go through the this particular timestamp of 30:43, and you'll get to understand what they are referring to. So coming back here, correct answer is A, which is copy paste culture, and D, which is challenges new ways of doing business. So well done, those of you who mentioned options A and D correct. So even if you had a slight doubt, I would suggest you to just go with the one which you are very much confident in order to get uh, better marking. Okay. Now coming to the question 3. Which book was referred by Miss Shilpi Kumar? मिस शिल्पी कुमार ने अपने इस पूरे वक्तव्य में in her presentation he referred to a book by Victor Papanek. That's the author's name, and it is one of these books. Is it Keep It Simple and Stupid? Is it Emotional Design? Is it designed for the real world? Or is it designed for everyday things? We've got one vote for D. I would request others to please pitch in. I think there is a weather problem here, so I am turning off my camera because it is affecting the feed. Yes. So yeah, please go ahead. मिस शिल्पी कुमार ने एक बुक बोला था रेफर करने को to understand more. When she was mentioning about the innovation process and those things, what are the challenges, what you need to take care of in the real world. What could be the right answer? We'll give a thought to it and then we'll see the correct answer. I can give you a hint. The author's name which was mentioned was Victor Papanek. जो author का नाम है उस book का वो Victor Papanek था, and it is one of these books. By the way, all these books are related to the design domain, and all these are relevant to the design field, right? So whether it is user interface or user experience design, one book pertains to that. The other book for how product design invokes certain emotions. How emotions are being involved in design. That is there. The question is basically asking the book which was referred by Ms. Shilpi Kumar. Let's see the correct answer. It is Designed for the Real World. Okay, and the author which I was mentioning is Victor Kapanek. That's the book. And if you read a brief about the book, Design for the Real World has, since its appearance 25 years ago, तो यानी कि 25 साल पहले रिलीज हुई थी, become a classic, translated into 23 languages. Just imagine the outreach this book is having. 23 languages में ये print हुई है. It is one of the world's most widely read books on design. So if you are from a design background or you want to know more about the design field, I think it's a great book. You should go for it. Victor Papanek examines the attempts by designers to combat tawdry, the unsafe, the frivolous, the useless product, once again providing a blueprint for sensible, responsible design in this world which is deficient in the resources and energy. That's very, very much critical because you know how the design is impacting the ecosystem, and that's where you know you have got all those new phenomena, the circular economy, sustainable design, all these things coming in, pitching in. So it becomes a great read, especially for the contemporary conditions, and it is even relevant today. Right? So the correct answer for this question is design for the real world. Right? Keep a note of it, and you know might be asking the question. All right. Coming to our fourth question. According to Ms. Shilpi Kumar, what is the first step in trying to solve a problem? मतलब अगर हमें कोई सवाल आता है, हमारी कोई प्रॉब्लम आती है, तो पहला स्टेप क्या है? फर्स्ट स्टेप. Trying to find a solution to a given design brief, figuring out what the user needs are, framing the problem as a problem, and fulfilling the business needs and growth. You've got one vote for option C, but let's just wait and let others invite and share their perspective, their opinion on what could be the right answer. Since we are having a very diverse set of responses, I'll give you a minute more to just hover over the problem and let's try to identify the correct answer. Just given to you are trying to find a solution to a given design brief, figure out what the user needs are, framing the problem as a problem, and fulfilling the business needs and growth. Here, what you need to understand is that what is the context? Okay. So the context is that we are asking in accordance with Miss Shilpi Kumar. ओके, तो ये जो मिस शिल्पी कुमार है, इनके कॉन्टेक्स्ट में हमें समझना है कि फर्स्ट स्टेप क्या है अकॉर्डिंग टू हर. ओके, नॉट अकॉर्डिंग टू आवर अंडरस्टैंडिंग ऑफ द सब्जेक्ट, but according to the viewpoint of Ms. Shilpi Kumar, who is coming from an industry experience, who has worked with so many clients, who has worked in big organizations as well before setting up Khoj Labs. So we need to understand, where is she coming from? Let's see the correct answer. Framing the problem as a problem, not to validate if this is a good design for me. Okay. So the first step is framing the problem as a problem. I think one of you mentioned it very correctly. It was option C, which is framing the problem as a problem. Now, if I don't see the lecture by Ms. Shilpi Kumar, if when I try to understand this question, maybe I might say, the user needs are important because the entire course focuses on, customers, users, and with keywords like potential customers, right? Customer discovery. Okay. Now, these are the keywords which I will feel that, are right, and that's why I'll go for this. But that's what I mentioned that, context is important because the moment I write according to Ms. Shilpi Kumar, it's not according to my understanding or of overall course. I hope the difference is clear that according to Ms. Shilpi Kumar, we are trying to address this question, right? So if you ask me out of the context of this thing, then maybe this could be the right answer, or maybe even this could be the right answer. Okay. Although this is little difficult to be right because there are various steps even before a design brief, right? तो जो फर्स्ट स्टेप की बात हो रही है, इट्स द वेरी इनिशियल स्टेप. तो हम सोल्यूशन की बात कर ही नहीं रहे हैं ना, यहाँ पे तो सोल्यूशन की बात आ गई है, मतलब इट्स अ फर्दर स्टेप. सो इट्स सॉरी, इट इज समथिंग विच विल कम एट अ लेटर स्टेज, है ना. पहले तो आप ब्रीफ बनाओगे ना, पहले तो आप प्रॉब्लम बनाओगे और उसके बाद ही सोल्यूशन आएगा. सोल्यूशन विल कम लेटर. So it's not the first step. Okay. And if you see the last option, fulfilling the business needs and growth. Now, business needs are important, but it is again not the first step. All right, let's go further. Coming to our fifth question. According to Mr. Hayan Kumar, which of the following forms the philosophy of F1 Studios? Simplicity, empathy, agility, and customer feedback. Again, if you see it's a multi-select question, you have a square box, which means that there are more than one correct answers. All right. So I would request the learners who are here, please try to attempt the question. Let me know your options. Can anyone tell me? I mean, what was the logic behind keeping F1 as their studio name? F1. He mentioned about two aspects. Why the name F1 came in picture. So F1 in computer as a help feature. So if you see in your laptop or your computer systems, the keyboard it is basically used for help. And then you also have Formula One car racing. So one aspect is the speed, and the other aspect is addressing the issues, empathizing with the people who are trying to address their issues. If you see the validation screenshot, it clearly tells F1 philosophy as simplicity, empathy, and agility. So the correct answers are multiple of them, except customer feedback. You have got all these as correct answers: simplicity, empathy, and agility. Okay, so these are the philosophy of F1 Studios, which was mentioned by Mr. Ayel. Okay, all right. So coming on to our sixth question. According to Miss Shilpi Kumar from Khoj Labs, which aims how we can make dash flow better in an dash. Okay, so basically you have to fill in the blanks, and these are the questions. Sorry, these are the options. How can we make ideas flow better in a team? All right. Second is ideas flow better in a organization. Concepts flow better in a team, and again concepts flow better in a organization. Okay, how we can make. Okay, so you need to tell me what is the correct answer. How can we make dash flow better in a dash? Is it about flowing of ideas, or is it about flowing of concepts? And the ideas or the concepts need to flow in a team, or it needs to flow in an organization. Okay. So basically, you have got two choices for each of the blanks. So the option one has basically options of ideas and concepts. And the second blank has the options of team and organization. Right? थोड़ा सोच के बताएं आप लोग क्या हो सकता है. What needs to flow? I mean, according to Ms. Shilpi, how can we make dash flow better in a dash? तो ये कहीं ना कहीं खोज लैब्स के यूएसपी से आ रहा है, हाउ दे आर हेल्पिंग organizations and companies, right? Any thoughts? Any? Okay, let's see the validation. Trying to find the disconnects and diagnosis of an organization and how we can make ideas flow better in an organization. All right. So this again is basically what Coach Labs is aiming to do. So you can have questions in both the sentences, So how they are helping the organizations by trying to find out the disconnects and diagnosis of an organization, and how can we make ideas flow better in an organization. वो भी ठीक है, तो क्वेश्चन दोनों sentences में बन सकता है. So keep a note of both statements. All right. So the correct answer is how to make ideas flow better in an. Sure. Great. Let's come to our seventh question. According to Mr. Dhayan, who belongs to F1 Studios, what are the important learnings? The learnings given are: learn how to share success, take as much work as possible, be ready to accept failures, and respect timeline even if it means not giving great work. Okay. So हम according to Mr. Dhayan, हम उनसे important learnings समझने की कोशिश करना हूं. Right? Learn how to share a success, take as much work as possible, be ready to accept the failure and respect timeline even if it means not giving great work. All right. So this we need to understand. Uh, so Mr. Dhayan, who belongs to the F1 Studios, they do a lot of work in the digital landscape, right? So F1 Studio has a predominant presence in the digital landscape, which means pertaining to the user interface part of it. So that can come in mobile applications. You can see in your mobiles, desktop applications. Basically, you can see on your laptops as well, as well as desktops. It can also be visible in your tablets, which are a little higher. All right. So basically, digital landscape का यही मतलब होता है. We are talking about the digital user interface or digital products, which basically means offerings like mobile applications, desktop applications, can also include websites, right? So moving digital offering, and this also see all these forms digital products. All right. And just for your information, so in design we have got physical products, and then finally you have a mix of two, which is digital products. So I'm just telling you so that you know you get an understanding of what other these three aspects. It's a very much used term today. Digital products would mean that, for example, you are designing a microwave oven. Okay, now it might have a physical knobs and all, but it can also have an entire panel, which is touch screen panel, wherein you can touch and interact, right? And then you have these handles and all which are there, the entire design of it. So it has aspects of both physical and digital. Another example, if I can give it to you, is that of ATM. Now the ATMs have been now designed into digital skill. You have camera, you have this screen has a complete digital interface, and then you have the buttons, and then you have a snippet for withdrawing the cash, for inserting the card. So all that forms in this. Okay. All right. So coming back to our question, मिस्टर खायन के अनुसार महत्वपूर्ण लर्निंग्स क्या है इस F1 स्टूडियोज की, जो कि खायन का स्टार्टअप है? व्हाट आर द इम्पोर्टेंट लर्निंग्स अकॉर्डिंग टू मिस्टर खायन? Learn how to share success. Learn how to share success का मतलब है, if you recall the content, he told that they used to go around and they used to celebrate, right? वो पूरी टीम आउटिंग करते थे और they used to have fun outside, है ना? And maybe I think a lot of professional organizations and startups, they have started this team outing thing in order to have a better cohesion among the workers in the group. And I think that's one of the great ways to share success, wherein you are, looping in all the team members, inviting them to celebrate. So it's not a success of just one founder or director of the company. It is basically the success of the entire team, right? So the moment you start sharing success, you are basically giving weightage to the team, right? The next is take as much work as possible. What does it mean? इसका ये मतलब है कि whatever is coming your way, you just take it. You've got logo design, you've got t-shirt design, you've got mug printing design, or if there's a website coming in, there's web app coming in. So you are taking each and every kind of work. Okay. So this basically means that. The third is be ready to accept the failures. Okay. Now this is very important, critical, skill set. Now, if you see and understand this question, I mean, it's not specific to one particular startup, but actually it is very much applicable to all of us in our daily lives, right? But sharing success would mean giving due diligence and credits to people who have made it possible, and ready to accept the failure in the sense that if you have made a mistake, you should acknowledge it. Finally, if you see the last option you have, respect timeline, even if it means not giving great work. So, if you remember, they discussed about having project timelines, which basically helps the team align as well as the clients aligned with the process. They are aware when we are getting what kind of submission, what kind of outcomes are there, will be reaching in what date. So it's basically done to ensure transparency, right? However, if you see, the added option is that even if it means not giving great work, which means that you are not satisfied with the outcome or the quality of work, but still you are submitting it. No? So, any choices by the learners present here? What do you think could be the right answer from the options A, B, C, and D? All right, let's check. Learn how to share the success and be ready to accept the failure. So these are the correct answers. These are the important learnings which we're talking about. So the options A and C are the correct ones. Okay. Share करना successful, credit देना, acknowledge करना, and this in the it's team outings के through go for a team lunch, right? They are just some examples. And be ready to accept failures. I mean, it's basically taking the ownership and rather the blame game. Okay, so I think these are very, very important and critical learnings, not only from a startup angle, but from a life perspective as well. All right, let's go to our eighth question. Complete the following sentence as mentioned by Mr. Dhayan Kumar as a designer. One must also learn to empathize with dash and dash. So you've got two options once again. The options are users, organizations, market, and business. Users, organization, market, and business. मिस्टर धायन के अनुसार एक डिजाइनर को और क्या सीखना चाहिए, किससे एम्पथाइज करना सीखना चाहिए. A designer must also learn to empathize with users in organization, users in market and business. So there are multiple permutations possible. Right answer. All right, so I think let's take a 1 minute break and we'll get back. By the time you can ponder upon the question and try to figure out, what is the correct answer. Let's take a quick break. Just grab some water and come. All right, let's take a quick break. All right, let's continue with our session. So the question was, as mentioned by Mr. Dhayan, a designer must also learn to empathize with dash and dash. These were the options which included the user, organization, market, and business. So we have to select two of them, which could be the correct answer. Haven't received any responses from our learners, so let's go and see the validation stream. If you see here, the goal, there are two keywords mentioned big, loud, and clear, which includes business and users. And users, right? So the correct answer for this question is option A and option D. Users and business. Coming to our second last question. Complete the following sentence as said by Mr. Dhayan. Success criteria is dash when there is lack of focus. Is it lesser? Is it greater? Is it enhanced? Or is it irrelevant? सक्सेस क्राइटेरिया की बात हो रही है. सक्सेस क्राइटेरिया is it lesser? Is it greater? Is it enhanced? Or is it irrelevant? What could be the when there is a lack of focus. ठीक है, तो जब लैक ऑफ फोकस होता है तो इनमें से क्या होगा? सक्सेस क्राइटेरिया कैसे इम्पैक्ट होगा? Will the success criteria, will it decrease? This is the first option. Would it increase? Would it be enhanced? Or is it irrelevant? So here, let us try to understand the question. What happens with the success criteria when there is a lack of focus? तो अगर आप खुद ही समझे, even if you applied for your studies, like your examinations and your studies, अगर हमारा फोकस लैक होता है या फिर हम वी आर लैकिंग ऑन आवर फोकस, लैकिंग ऑन आवर अटेंशन, तो सक्सेसफुल होने के चांसेस बढ़ते हैं या घटते हैं? If you are not focused, if you are not attentive enough in our studies, what do you think would be happening with our success? कम होगा, right? I mean, if there is a lack of focus, lack of attention, that means we are not giving due diligence to the content. Which further means that it will lead to either failure or low marks. इनमें से ही कुछ होगा, मतलब this is the example which I am trying to tell you from a educational environment. Okay. Let's see the content recap. Success criteria is lesser when there is a lack of focus. जाहिर सी बात है, अगर पढ़ाई में हम बात करें तो अगर पढ़ाई में हम फोकस नहीं है, अटेंटिव नहीं है, तो हमारा जो सक्सेस क्राइटेरिया है, सक्सेस का जो क्राइटेरिया है वो कम ही होगा. इट वोंट इंक्रीज, है ना. वी नीड टू हैव फोकस. द करेक्ट आंसर इज लेसर. Coming on to our final question. As per Mr. Dhayan, During your initial stage, dash is much important than a big team. मतलब initial stage पे, the beginning of startup भी बोल सकते हैं वैसे, dash is much important than a big team. So the options are good work, good client, good mobile applications, and good websites. So let's try to see the options and try to understand, what these options are telling. During our initial stage. So basically, we are talking about the stage wherein you are conceiving a startup, you are at a beginning stage, you don't have a big clientele or you don't have, customers coming back again and again. This is the phase wherein you have just, started your, company or your startup. What is important than a big team, right? So you might have very less resource. Maybe it's a 3-member team, 4-member team, or maybe 10-member team. So what is important in the initial stage? Is it good work or is it good client, good mobile applications, and good websites? So if you see option C and D, these are the outcomes. Outcomes of work. Or you can call it a subset. So if since they are in the digital landscape, like I mentioned, the outcomes will include mobile applications, the options will include websites. So if you're saying good work, basically these 2 points are already covered in, right? We have already covered these 2 points. Now comes the option of good work and good client. See, many a times in the initial stages, you can't get to choose clients. वो स्टेज ऐसी रहती है कि जब आपको रहता है कि हाउ कैन you get work so that you are sustaining yourself. वो चीज बहुत क्रिटिकल रहती है तो ठीक है तो it's very hard to choose your clients at the very beginning because at that time you need work. The moment you have transitioned into आपको कुछ समय हो जाता है, you have already have some good clients, you know that you're going to get work, then probably you can start saying no, that we don't want to pick that work or this work and we'll go for this work, right? But at a very initial stage, you need money, so you need to work for your client, right? So good and bad, it is not much of a choice at the very beginning, but what's there in your hand is that doing good work. Okay, that is completely up to you. That is completely in your hands, and you can actually, whatever type of client you get, you can offer them, you can give them the best of the solutions which is there, so that the work basically acts as a glory. It spreads in the environment, in the ecosystem, and people reach out to you saying that, okay, probably you are the company who work for this particular client or you have developed this product and we would like to go forward with you. So from the screen validation, during your initial stage, good work is much important than a big team. So the piece of advice which is given here is that rather than developing a big team, we should focus on good work. By good work, you mean quality work, which stands apart, which is unique, which brings value to the company and to the customers. Those features need to be there in the report. All right. So with that, we conclude our set of 10 questions, right? Okay, let me just take this. Correct answer is good. Well, all right. So with that, we conclude our set of 10 questions. These were the questions pertaining to the discussion forum. We have already discussed it multiple times, and we have also responded this in the Google discussion forum. This was a question regarding the entrepreneur, who are entrepreneurs. And then there was another question by a learner regarding the week 4, question number 7, wherein he mentioned that, the question's same, but there is a discrepancy in the options provided. So if you see this option and this option, although the learner himself says that, the options are incorrect, I mean, it won't be the right answer, but still there is a consistency break in the two options because both of them are giving different meanings. Although they are not the correct answer, but then from a meaning standpoint, the question has been raised. All right. So the comments that was shared with him was that we can forward it to the NPTEL team so that they can provide consistency in the options to avoid any ambiguity. All right. So that needs to be taken care. So with that, we end our session as of now. I mean, from the content part. What we will now do is we'll quickly do some understanding of the portal and we'll do a quick content recap as well. Those who are familiar with the portal, they can actually leave the meeting. But those who are not much aware of the portal or they are still trying to explore the various resources available, you can stay in the meeting and understand, what are the different tabs, their use cases, their, how do we access those content, all that will help.
Yeah, excuse me, sir.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, so this I was looking at the transcripts. So
Hmm.
only 5 PDF files are available. That is, I
Okay.
think, first couple of lecture.
Correct,
So,
correct. That's true.
are you going to provide the transcript for the rest of the lectures, or how is it going on?
See, what we can do is that we can reach out to the NPTEL team and we can say whether they will be providing the transcript for the remaining lectures or not, right? So that is something which the NPTEL support has to address to us. Do you have any NPTEL support mail ID?
No, no, sir. I mean, I didn't never write like this.
Okay, so
Generally,
you
live
you
session.
must be getting some notifications from NPTEL, right?
Yeah, so notification regarding, I mean,
I mean,
the,
are you getting any email notifications from
there's a
an
lot of
NPTEL?
email comes, lot of email
Okay,
comes
okay,
actually.
okay. So, can you please check whether they can be replied back or they are no reply emails? So, certain mail IDs are no reply.
The auto-generated mail many actually. So
Those are auto-generated mails, huh?
maybe, I mean, because so many mail comes, most of the mail I don't read actually. So many mails come.
Okay, let me
So
stop
I was
sharing
looking
my.
at the content. So what
Hmm.
I found is that you have the what is called PPT PDF file, but their content, written content is very less actually.
Okay,
Okay.
let's have a quick look at the transcript so that we can actually
Yes, yes, sir.
see.
Yes, sir.
So that accordingly, maybe I can then initiate a request and we can
Yes,
get a
yes,
clarity
that will be
whether
great.
they are going to publish it or not. At least if we have that clarity, I think that will also be helpful to us.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So I think this is what you are referring to, transcripts.
Yes, yes, absolutely.
So are these transcripts helpful to you? I mean, you go through them.
Oh yes, if you want to really score high and then understand the subject, so
All
instead of
right.
listening the video lecture, you can scroll through actually.
Correct, correct. Yeah, I think
So
it
you
would be
can scroll
meaningful.
through. Many courses I found transcripts are so well written that I mean it's very helpful actually. Specifically, last moment when you are preparing for exam, so you don't have time to see the video, you can quickly have a look.
Completely understand. And I think in the lecture notes, this is basically the presentations. They are not the
Yes,
transcripts, right?
no. In many courses, in lecture notes, they add some extra text, but in this particular course, so they're very bare minimum actually. Lecture
Mm.
notes contents are written very bare minimum. So from there, it is to kind of revisualize the video content will be extremely difficult actually.
Correct, correct. I'm just trying to explore the other options which are available from the
Yes,
NPTEL.
yes.
So I think this is where you can get the transcripts. Were you able to follow? Satyabrat, are you there?
I'm there. I'm there. I'm there.
Okay, okay. So if you see here, you know, if you read, would you be able to reach this particular page?
No, that is how did you go there? I can you just repeat the process?
Okay, okay. So you click on
Download
the
video.
download videos,
Okay,
okay?
okay, okay.
And when you click on download, it will show you this link,
Also, that is a
okay?
old link. Okay, yes.
When you click here, you will reach on to this particular page, okay?
Huh,
You click
huh,
on downloads,
huh.
and then
So
you have
there again
transcripts,
transcripts are there. Okay.
okay? Now, for say, for example, if you are looking for lecture 6,
Huh,
you select language,
huh.
and then you
Can you
click
click
on,
the transcript? Yeah.
so
So
here
it is here.
you'll get the
Just one
trans
minute. Just 1 minute, sir. Can you scroll? I just want to see the lecture number actually.
lecture number
Lecture
6.
six. Okay, okay,
Okay, let's
okay.
try to look at a few more lectures ahead.
Lecture
Maybe,
six. Yes. Okay. 18 or something like that. Okay.
okay, okay. Let's go for lecture 12 because this is the one which we recently discussed about.
Uh,
Okay, here it is not opening. Uh,
so that means all are not there actually.
some are there, at least starting is there.
Starting there it already it is in, I mean that first page it is showing 5 PDF file actually.
Correct, correct. So even here, I think you'll get only one of them. After that, it is not here as well.
Uh,
No, no. So it's not okay. So some of them are there. I don't know.
Acha, yes, you can just have a word with the NPTEL
Correct,
team.
correct, correct.
Why
I'll
it is
just
like this?
pass on the message that we don't
Yes,
have
sir.
the
Yes, sir.
transcript for all the lectures because lecture 20 they have, but then 21 they don't have.
Yes. Last semester also I was doing a course that transcript was not there, so I found a lot of difficulties
Right,
actually.
right. So that this is an issue, right?
Yeah,
So
because by listening sometime video also
hmm,
we don't get clarity as far as the MCQ is concerned actually.
that is true. That's true. I think you have
And
raised a very important point because as you have mentioned many times, going through the transcript is very quick and easy method of understanding the content.
yes, so that is my preference actually. So some people may feel like going through video.
Correct, correct.
So I feel better. I mean more comfortable there actually. And
Correct.
sometimes I ask question to myself in mind, and then I search in the text, and then that how I try to do. So suppose I make a question frame. Okay, this is the answer given there or not, something like that.
Very
So
nice.
then
Very nice.
that is not possible in video actually. But people are okay, so comfortable. Okay, NPTEL and one cases instructor told that it is transcript writing is a very complex process. It takes time, and so it is not possible. One IIT KGP course I was doing last sem, and then
Okay.
their
Okay.
overall highest score came 72% actually. I was the top of that course, and it was 72%, unfortunately.
Okay, okay. Okay.
So
No, no, that's a very valid point you have raised. What I'll do is I will drop a mail tomorrow to the NPTEL team
yes,
and
yes.
getting a clarification that, whether we have transcripts for the remaining lectures or not,
All the
because,
lectures, yes, yes.
because we only see it till lecture 5, right? Only till 5 it is available.
So whatever is the available, rest they should make try to make it. I
The
don't know in this
remaining
short
needs to
time.
be
Yes,
made
yes.
available. Yeah.
This is first time it not running the course. I am sure. Earlier also run this course. No, I mean this course was run earlier also.
So may I request you one thing? What you can do is that you can post this in the discussion forum, and I'll then take a screenshot and then I'll forward it to NPTEL so that it appears that it is coming from a learner. So then
Ah,
it will make a much more valid point. Okay,
the course?
are you getting my point?
No, this discussion forum you are referring to this. This is
So you just post your this thing that
message. Okay,
only
okay,
so because
okay,
then it will get into their system record as well, right?
okay, sir.
So
Okay, sir.
then
Got it.
we will
Officially, my query will be recorded.
correct, correct, correct. So then I will forward this query on the basis of it so that we get a valid, issue here and we need to respond to this. Okay.
Sir, you are talking from the IIT Mumbai or where from you are
I'm
connecting,
from
sir?
IT Roorkee, sir.
You are IIT Roorkee, sir. Okay.
Right.
So, okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much. All right. So basically, now what we are trying to do is we are trying to understand the various clickable links which are present in this particular NPTEL platform so that we can assess and access the different resources which are available. It has been rightly pointed out that we don't have all the transcripts available. We have them available only for a few lectures. It's still lecture 5, which is being made available. So uh, we'll wait for the learner to post that on the discussion forum, and on the basis of that, we'll forward a mail to the NPTEL support team so that we get a valid response from them whether they are going to provide it or whether it is not available. Whatever it is, we'll get a better clarity from the team. Okay. Going further, you have progress tab, which I've already discussed. If you see here, it has two clickable links, which is unified progress, as in how much content you have been going through and what is your assignment process progress. That will be visible to you. And here you will have the assessment score. So if you are, attempting these assignments in a diligent way, and for those assignments whose timelines are over, whose deadlines are over, you will be able to see the marks for them, right? So right from week 1 to week 5, I believe these scores would be available to you. And since I think week 5 deadline is tomorrow, after that you will be able to see your marks. I don't think these links have much of an information. Uh, so these are currently disabled. Yes, either of them. Okay. Now, from the download videos link, you can actually access the content for the further weeks as well. So that's the benefit. Now, if you see here you will get content week by week. It's more like a progressive disclosure. So week by week, we are disclosing the content. However, if you have time, if you're running smoothly, if you feel that this week I have a good time available, what can be done is that you can actually go and see the further contents, right? So here, if you see till week 12, you will get all the contents available, right? But there in the main NPTEL portal, you will have just 1 week content, progressive disclosed. But here you will have all the lectures, all the content available. So you have enough time, you go through it, and you can, cover the entire content. However, the questions part will be active only when your week is content is disclosed. The download section has a few answers as well, so you can access the dummy questions. You can access them, you understand them, you'll get a added set of questions to your knowledge. You'll prepare better for your examination. Some of the transcripts are available, so that we recently checked. We'll be raising an issue with the PTL team regarding this. And then the videos can also be downloaded, right? So you have the list of videos and you click download. It will be, uh, you know, the TLS. So this is basically the previous one. It's not for the recent times. These have been the overall statistics of the course. I mean, how many students and the learners have registered, how many of them, got certified, as well as, the gold winners and, the silver and the, so these are the different certificate types. Okay. And these are the toppers list. So starting from January to April 2022, you have the list of people who have performed well in this particular course. And my best wishes to all the learners that you also, when I take this lecture later, I get to see some familiar names. That's what I hope. So, many, many big wishes and best wishes to all the learners. And I hope that your names and photographs also gets published here. These are the different certificate types. Depending upon the marks you are getting, you will be getting one of them. And so it includes silver, gold, elite, and completed. And this is the criteria for the marks and the type of certificate which you get. Okay. So these are the overall criteria which we have already discussed. And the remaining are already mentioned for different certificate type. This is the marking criteria. So if you score more than 90, you get an elite plus gold card, okay, which is the topmost, and then these are followed by elite plus silver, elite, and successfully completed. This is the overall syllabus of the course. This might also be helpful because it gives you a broad picture of the course, starting from week 1 to week 12 are the basic heads. However, it does not have all the details in itself. And let's get back to the content recap part of our presentation. I just flip through it very quickly so that we get a broad picture of what we are talking about. So it started with Shilpi Kumar, founder of Coach Lab and an innovation catalyst. And if you see, she wears a lot many hats, which is that of a researcher, that of an insights manager, design harmonizer strategist. So, wearing multiple hats. Leader, strategist, yes, researcher, and with over 18 years of experience. That would be much greater because the course is 2 years old, maybe more than 20 years of experience we are talking about. And Khoj Labs was basically their startup. These are the few catchy statements. Almost a lot of questions was based. design brief, and the various roles Shilpi Kumar is playing as an architect, industrial designer, researcher, advocate, futurist, strategist, designer, facilitator, storyteller. So these are the multiple roles which she's playing, and it's just not one role of a designer. Remember, which is worked with Herman Miller. It's one of the top brands, furniture brands. She described about her experience at GE, catchy taglines, and discusses about Coach Lab, which is a set of multicultural, multilingual women. So it's a woman-centric organization. And then this is the innovation flows they talk about. Uh, they're describing who they are, what they do. They've been pro bono work, adopting a non-profit organization that is doing great social impact. So they also do this kind of work, which basically means they are helping these organizations create an impact. Thought leadership. This is the book they're referring to. And these are few of the questions by the students that how do you get past the industry prevalent jugaad and copy paste mentality and show the importance of going through the whole process of innovation. And she mentioned the answers like changing the business aspiration, having a disruptive idea, reframing the problem, and identifying the capability gap. So this is how she addressed this particular question by a student. And there was another student who questioned that how do you decide which approach to take for the analysis of interviews and workshops you conduct? For which the answer was start with primary, secondary, and tertiary objective, framing research questions tied to the objective, and categorizing the questions in terms of the method. Never ask a do question or a why question, build a rapport with the interview. So this is basically about, you know, interview ethics or protocol, you can say. Being a good listener and hoping at the right time. And then here comes Dhayan, who is from the F1 Studios, who says design as a service. And he's again an IIT Bombay alumni. And he shares his journey of, you see here is the MDes. And he worked in these many companies. And so after 12 years of masters, he established his own firm. Here come the philosophy and the services they are offering. This is how they've been working around. See, this guy sitting, cross technology, they're allowing that as well. Spot shooting. Right, that what in the business goals and opportunity. Choose your goals. I'm just giving you a snapshot summary because many times you don't get enough time to go through the entire thing, and that's where this will actually help. So a question can also be framed. What a typical client. It's basically client looks for quality, speed, and transparency. Still talking about the Google Sprint. You mentioned about using the right tools and making it transparent to the team. This is basically the project timeline he was talking about. How this is important and sharing this with the client is important. Why the customers love F1? So this again is important. So these are the reasons. They empathize with the business, they use the right tools, they adhere to the process, they have a dedicated coding and their engagement, effective business model. These are some of the testimonials. This is what we were talking about sharing the success. They're going for team lunch, they're winning the awards, then they're celebrating it together. They're walking together, going for a movie night, how they've made their activities fun using these Friday fun day and all that. But it's all about the people. This is the entire team, right? So we are with them back. So we will save the file as we will be planning to upload it as well. Using the tabs and let me click back here. Stop sharing my screen. All right. So once again, thank you. We close the session today here, and we'll meet next week, same day, 6 p.m. for our week 7